मैं थोड़ा हरजाप तो हरेक मंडे 7 बजे तुसीं तो मैं आपस में गल्लां करांगे साडी कम्यूनिटी दियां साडे बच्चों दियां साडे बाहर रहिंदे NRIयां दियां साडे देश दियां तो जो अजकल दे इशू हैगे सानू अफेक्ट करदे उन्हां दियां So let's talk with Harjap. जी आयां वेलकम टू द प्रोग्राम जिस तरह थानू पता कि मंडे असी लाइव विद हरजाप कुछ थानू दिखालते हैं कोई गेस्टां नू इंटरव्यू करते हैं कुछ थानू कोई कम्यूनिटी दी इशू करते हैं अगले हफ्ते मेरे को गेस्ट आउणगे जो कि मॉडलिंग बारे गल करूगे तो नाल दी नाल पढ़ने बारे गल करूगे क्योंकि ये बारे अजकल काफ़ी जो लड़कियां हैगियां अपने मम्मी डैडी नू कहंदे कि जी असी मॉडलिंग करनी असी फैशन शो च भाग लेना बट एक्चुअली मम्मी डैडी उन्होंने कुछ कह सकते कि पुराने ख्यालात के कुछ थोड़े देसी ख्यालात है क्योंकि शायद इस चीज़ बारे सानू नहीं जानकारी है नहीं तो इस चीज़ बाला असी नहीं अपने पुराने टाइम बच्चे चंगियां मनते हैं जो है सो ये असी यही ज़्यादा सोचते हैं कि वो बारे थोड़ा कुछ मुकालता जो है क्लीयर अप करिए बाकी जो कि अज की शो च है अज थानू दिखावांगे असी शेरू क्लासिक के कुछ इंटरव्यूज़ जो मेन शेरू क्लासिक इवेंट है वो थानू असी किसी होर दिन दिखावांगे सो वो थानू दिखावांगे किसी होर दिन बाकी जो अज के क्लिप्स है जो असी थानू दिखाने है दैट विल बी मेनली शेरू क्लासिक के इंटरव्यूज़ जो है जो मेन इवेंट है वो थानू किते वधिया दिन दिखा लूँगे सैटरडे संडे नू जे किते गाहां मंडे नू तो वो दिखा लाँगे Also 24 तरीक नू टीचर ने आना एक ने तो दसना all about teaching जे थोड़े बच्चे or you want to get into teaching तो how you can get into teaching टीचर करदे की आ what are the rules here कि इत्थे भी न्याणे दा फैंटा चढ़ सकदा या नहीं स्कूल च सारा कुछ दी असी डिस्कस करांगे ते सब तो ज़्यादा टॉपिक कि पे किन्नी आ वो भी साडे डिस्कस करांगे और तुहानू पहलां ही लिख के दस दांगे क्योंकि एवें बाद फिर तुसीं घंटा देखते रहोगे तो कोई असली सवाल तो पुछया नहीं सो वो ही तुहानू कुछ दिखा लांगे मैं कल नू बर्मिंघम दे विच तो मैं पहले ही हम थोड़े तो छुट्टी लै लेनी है क्योंकि मैं अज के दिन मंडे आ देखो 2 मिनट ली मैं नट्ठा आया उतों 100 साल तो इन्नी दूर कर ली तो ही आ होर की नहीं तो इन्होंने कह सकते नहीं यार ला दो इंटरव्यू मैं कहा नहीं फिर भी थोड़ा मूँह दिखा ही दईए कि हाँ जी है नहीं तो लोगों ने कहना नहीं पता नहीं कितने ऐतकी आया नहीं यार भाजी आया नहीं सो ट्यूसडे कल मैं बर्मिंघम च सैटरडे मैं लैस्टर में इन द मीन टाइम तुम शेरू क्लासिक्स के क्लिप्स इंजॉय करो इंटरव्यूज़ देखो तो डोलियां वाले बंदे देखो तो डोलियां वाली जनानियां भी देखो तुम ये जो कि ऐतकी चीमा साहब मैंने दिखा के आया तो तुम सारा कुछ देखो तो अपना मन बनाओ कि सेहत का ख्याल किस तरह लगना चाहिए नहीं सो इंजॉय द फुटेज मुंबई एंड ताज लैंड्स एंड होटल इत्थे एक सैमीनार होएगा जिहदे क्रिस गैथिन फ्रॉम bodybuilding.com हेल्थ एंड फिटनेस बारे सैमीनार दोगे तो जानकारी दोगे अबाउट हेल्थ न्यूट्रिशन फिटनेस एंड बॉडी बिल्डिंग सो हुण असीं तुहाडे लई इह पेश करके आ रहे हैं We're at the Mumbai Sheru Classic Expo. Now we've talked about supplements and powders and taking products and drinks and protein shakes but there's also alternative products available here that we haven't discussed yet and this is what we're here to discuss. We're at the EnergyCare stall and I'm with one of the owners, directors of the company.
Yes, my name is Kris Gethin. I'm the son of the principal of the U.S. entity.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here. Thank you, Sheru. Thank you, Sheru, for having me here. It's been a great show so far.
How's India been treating you?
It's been nice. I'll tell you, I'm kind of used to the weather because I lived in South America for 10 years.
Right.
So, the hot weather is it's like a second nature to me. So.
Indians and Mexicans almost look the same.
I think you're that way, but you're 100% right.
Now, you're promoting something else that's totally different.
Yes.
Now, if I look at it, it's just a rubber band. That's what I'm going to think. And I'm going to think, but what exactly is this product?
Yep.
So people who think this is a rubber band.
Yeah, well, the first perception is, of course, it's just a band.
Yeah.
Really, it's going to help
How
me.
can this going to help me? Yeah.
Well, you know what? There's 2 chips inside, and I'll show you guys very quick. People don't really pay attention to this too much. If you see, there's a chip right here and a chip right there. That's what separates us from anything else that's out there. I'm sure you've seen holograms, you've seen also magnets.
Yeah.
Magnets definitely work. They've been around for what, 20, 30 years?
That's right. That's been proven that magnets work.
Exactly. It's a proven product. Other products out there don't have much of a science behind it. Well, that's something that we've actually brought to the table. We don't have magnets. They're not magnetic products. What it does is it's actually cured with this light treatment. So what that does, it actually attracts natural light energy to the body. It's something that it's normal science. It's out there. We just don't really sit down and realize really what it's doing. And it combats EMF, electromagnetic pollution. Those electromagnetic fields that have that negative effect to the body. We don't really realize how bad it is for the body. But if you really sit back and see how our molecules in our body are all clumped up because, that's what the negative radiation is doing to our body. So what this is doing naturally, through natural light energy, it allows them to realign themselves. And when that happens, your body can absorb more oxygen. It increases the oxygen capacity. Think about it. If your cells are all close together, how much oxygen can we get through there? Not much.
Well, nothing's going to get through, yeah.
Exactly. But if you open them up and they're realigned the way they're supposed to, then you're going to get that natural oxygen.
I remember when I was little and my mum used to wear like a copper bracelet.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and I assume that sort of works on the same sort of level, that metal or certain metals do have something to do with the body, right?
Yeah, well, this is more of a newer generation, all right? Copper, titanium, magnets, what it does is it pushes the molecules around.
Right.
That's the effect that we've had. The one, not a side effect, but our body gets used to it. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think of the cells being bullied and pushed around. You get bullied for so long, you'll learn how to...
They make a defense mechanism.
Exactly. So that's what magnets come down to. They get to around a 6-7 month period that your body has to get a new one because it's got to be pretty much, your body adapts to the old one, so you have to get something new. What's great about our product is your body can never have enough light energy. You drink water, you get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with light energy. Our body absorbs it, and it gets rid of it. So the higher absorption of that light energy is what's going to have the positive effects.
What sort of feedback have you had on this?
I counted some ones. The latest one was, I was at a golf tournament. There's a gentleman came here and says, I have plantar fasciitis. Would it help me with something like that? And I was like, oh, it definitely will. Well, how long would it take for me to do? He's like, I'm like, everybody's body's different. So I can't tell you it'll be 1 hour, 2 hours. I said, but you just buy the product. He says, $50. Like, no, I won't buy that for $50. I'm like, well, you know what? If it's going to help you, you definitely will. He goes, listen, I'll try it. I'll buy it right now. We have money back guarantee. I says, of course we do, because we know our product works. We put it on. He came back 5 hours later. He's a caddy, so he had to walk around the golf the whole day.
Yeah.
He came back with his hands up. He goes, what the hell is this? I'm like, what do you mean? I want to write a testimony right now. I'm like, okay, please, could you explain? I'd like to know what your reaction was. He goes, I have no pain in my legs. I just put a band on and it really just did this. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not surprised. I get that all the time. A couple weeks back, we did an interview with a gentleman who wore the product, had a stroke in his right side of his body. He was numb. This goes back 5 years. He's a golf pro, so, how can you play golf with your right side of your body numb? He wore the product. 5 days later, he called one of our reps, and he was tearing, saying, I have feeling back in my right hand, my right part of my body. Is it EnergyCare? It's the only thing I've done differently in the last 5 days, and I've been numb for the last 5 years. We've had people who've had Parkinson's, fibromyalgia, carpal tunnel. I remember I had one person who couldn't open her hand fully because, her hand, she had the carpal tunnel and it was really bad. She put a product on, and she wasn't wearing the band. She just took chips that we have from the product, put it on her skin. And an hour later, she was going like this. Wow, I've not been able to do this for the last 8 years. So, feedback like that we get on a daily basis.
I've seen a lot of golfers wear this, especially. A lot of bodybuilding athletes.
Yes.
A lot of sports stars wear this.
Yep.
Obviously, the feedback from them must be that it works, right?
Oh yeah, we're blessed to have Jay Cutler, Mr. Four-Time, and the reigning champ right now, Mr. Phil Heath. They've had great feedback from the product. They've been wearing our product because they see it works. So it's really been a mutual thing because great athletes like them don't come around like this, and they've been wearing our product, loving it, and we're very happy to have them on our team. And they have their own signature series, which is great because they actually they want to share this with their fans, showing, listen, this is a product that works. Oh, by the way, here's my signature series.
Now we've also got something here.
Yes.
Something. Dream Pillow, a deep sleep simulator.
Yes.
Tell us what this does. Now, this does not look as thick as a pillow and as comfy as my pillow.
Yeah.
And if you're saying put this on your pillow, this is going to make you Go to sleep better. I'm thinking, nah, what are you on about?
Yes.
But tell us what this does.
Well, I'll tell you, this product right here is the first product created.
Right.
This helped a lady that had insomnia. All right. So the scientist was working through changing water molecules. He's like, let me test something. If your water molecules in your body are working the way they're supposed to, positive reaction, in turn, it would definitely help with your sleep. It's just a chain reaction. So he created, and it does not look like that, like it looks today. Obviously, it's got the EnergyCare on top of it right now, but it's got the same technology as the band. It's got a magnet on top, all right? And you put this under your pillow, so you can still sleep on top of your comfy pillow.
Yeah.
But what it does is, it helps your body get into the delta sleep. Delta sleep is a part of the night where your body's actually resting. It's your REM sleep and a delta sleep.
Right.
All right.
So there's different types of sleep, right?
Exactly. We all.
What delta sleep? Probably what we call the deep sleep.
Deep sleep. Delta is where you get to that deep sleep. People think that if you sleep for 10 hours,
You'll be
fine.
resting, yeah.
It's not true. You can wake up at 10 and be like, I'm still tired. I did not get the proper
It's
sleep.
about quality sleep.
About quality sleep, This will not necessarily guarantee 10 hours of sleep. You don't want to sleep 10 hours because we all have a busy day and we got to carry on with our day. But if you sleep 6 to 8 hours of quality sleep, and this is what that's going to do, it's going to help you get into that quality sleep, you will see a difference, obviously. It will carry on towards the day. If you have good sleep, you're setting yourself up for a great day.
It's very essential.
Exactly. So the band is like a complementary thing where you keep it on and keep on that.
What sort of reaction have you had from the medical industry, and how much exactly medical research do you put into this? You mentioned doctors. Do you have a team of doctors working on this sort of stuff night and day? I mean, or is this just something you come out with? Or?
Oh, well, one of the principals of the company is Dr. James Barber.
So your principal of the company is a doctor?
Yes, he's one of 3 partners. And he's obviously had the medical research behind it. It's helped us understand what it's really doing to the body. We've been doing clinical studies for the past year and a half now, obviously, because you need to have clinical studies. You need to prove that your technology works. So you have a doctor who talks about the medical part of it, understands and is able to help mention it. But we also did tests in Brazil, which will be coming out at the end of October. We have done tests in Furman University and tests in UPMC, which is one of the biggest medical centers in the U.S. And we're doing sleep studies as well. So all these clinical studies that we're doing, and we've had positive results as of yet. We've done double-blind tests, so we've done tests with placebo bands with no technology that one's with. We've had significant differences. We've done tests with mice in Brazil, just to check to pretty much see the pain relief that we're seeing. And we've used the pillow as a device to measure that. So yes, we do have medical documentation behind it. This is all going to be presented, which is great because, to prove that a product works, you have to be able to explain the science behind it, and we have these doctors back here doing these testings, and we will continue doing that as well.
What are your plans to bring this product to the UK and Europe and maybe India?
Yes, we have partners right now,
right.
And they've got it back. Actually, Sheru has helped us get to India right now, and we've got a partner in UK who's going to do great getting it out there. We're expecting very great things, and we've already seen promise. He himself has experienced great things from it, and he's got obviously with his close friends, and they all come back and rave back about it. So that's what it's all about. He's seeing it himself. He's seeing it with his close family and relatives, and he's ready to make a big launch. And we're very excited to hear that.
Yeah. Also got this limited edition Sheru Classic one, which you've made. These are limited, but you've made it especially for the event?
Yes.
You're using the same technology?
Same technology. As you can see, they're inside the chips. There's 2 chips inside, and it is a limited time edition. Doing it for this specific show, which is, by the way, it's been a great show so far, and I'm excited for the next couple of days.
You enjoying yourself so far?
I'm having a great time, yes.
And you see a lot of potential in India?
Oh, yes, guaranteed, yeah. I've only seen great things here. Hotel's beautiful, people around have been great.
Hospitality good?
Oh, yes, and
probably the best in the world.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's very good.
Well, Chris, it's been great talking to you.
Yes.
And we wish you luck with the product.
Thank you.
And anything which helps people's health.
Oh, yes.
It's always a good.
Oh, yes, it's a product that's non-invasive, non-magnetic. There's no...
all natural?
All natural, yeah. There's no holograms involved. It's a whole different technology that we're excited to get to the whole world.
No one will start hallucinating when they sleep on a pillow or anything like that. Unless it's all about Pamela Anderson, then it's all good.
Then it's all good, exactly.
All right, Chris, thanks very much. Hope you enjoy the show.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Once again, welcome to MATV. As you know, we're covering the event and we're bringing various athletes exclusive interviews. I am now with Nicole Nagrani. Nicole, welcome to MATV.
Hi. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here this weekend at the Sheru Classic. We're coming from the Olympia last weekend where I took first in the bikini division, and now I'm really honored to be here representing the bikini division that will hopefully be here at the Sheru Classic next year.
Tell us about the Olympia event and the bikini competition. Was this the first ever event that you entered?
No, I've turned pro last year, and last year at the Olympia I took third, and then this year I won the Bikini International at the Arnold Sports Festival, and I took home the win at the Bikini Olympia. So it was the second Bikini Olympia ever, and I'm really having a great career, and it's like I'm living a dream.
Well, that's excellent. Tell us a little bit about your background. How did you start into this field? I mean, what sort of gave you the idea that you wanted to compete?
Well, my parents have been going to the gym since forever. You know, I was a little kid, always in the daycare, watching them work out. I couldn't wait to get on the floor and lift some weights. And someone had come into the gym and began competing, and I was like, I really want to do that. I was 14 years old, and I did my first show when I was 14, and from then on, it's history. You know, I picked up bikini when I turned 18, and from then on, I turned pro, and here I am today in India. Like, it doesn't get any better than this.
So you're from the US. How does it actually feel to go to India? I mean, I know that you have a mixed background, I hear. So how do your parents feel about you coming to India and competing, and what's your feelings about it?
Well, my father was born in Lucknow, so I'm half Indian, and this is my second time to India, my first time to Mumbai, and I really just love India as a country. I love the people. They're great, and it feels great to be here and representing this sport and being half Indian and encouraging other Indian people to come out and participate in this sport.
What advice would you give to other young ladies who actually want to follow your path and your fans, for example? What do you eat? How do you train? I mean, what do you do to get as good as you are?
You know, what we do is the extreme because, you know, this is our sport. We're completely dedicated to having the best body possible. But I encourage everyone just to live a healthy lifestyle, you know, eating healthy and working out and teaching your family and the generations to come how to be healthy. It's extremely important. I think people forget in their busy lives, you know, how important health is, you know, like, oh, maybe you can't make it to the gym, but you know, if you walk or get a little bit of exercise here and there, and then you instill these healthy lifestyle habits in the future generations, then they can live healthy. You know, these prevent diabetes and high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all of these things, you know, because you want to live a long and healthy life. And so I encourage everyone to just be healthy.
You've got a huge fan following, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, you're going to have a whole lot more from India, and you're probably going to influence many of those. How does that make you feel, influencing people, looking at you and trying to follow what you do?
It's an incredible feeling, you know. I'm extremely flattered, and just being here this weekend and seeing all of the support people have for the sport, and specifically me, it's truly an amazing feeling. I never thought I'd have this opportunity, and it's an incredible experience. I really want to thank Sheru for inviting us out here. I just can't wait for the rest of the weekend. Everything's been so great so far. Ever since the moment we stepped on soil here in India, I just have been having the time of my life.
Excellent. We'll be covering you a lot more detail later in the events. What's a message that you'd like to give to all your fans following you?
I really just would like to thank you for all of the support, and I encourage your participation in the support. Follow the event, the Sheru Classic, and good luck to all the competitors this weekend.
Well, thank you very much for being with us. We'll be following many more athletes in detail. Keep watching MATV.
Classic, bringing over the absolute best bodybuilders in the world that only competed on the Olympia stage last week. It's like we've got an Olympia Part 2 here. You know, we've got the top 3 figure girls here. We've got like the top 5 Olympian athletes all battling out, you know, exactly a week later from what they were doing in Vegas last week. And the prize money, up to $150,000, is being distributed out. You know, that's the third largest prize money after the Olympia and Arnold Classic. And this is only its first year. So can you imagine, you know, what it's going to be like next year? Bodybuilding.com, for instance, has over 400,000 unique visitors come to its site every single day. And on the front page, as it has been for the past few days, is the Sheru Classic. So all eyes in the world are on India at the moment, and that can only bring more positive energy, you know, more financial support, supplementation, and health and fitness in a general to India, which is exactly what you guys deserve. So, you know, for that, I really want to thank Sheru for doing an absolutely amazing thing, and for giving people the chance to be educated on the health benefits of what bodybuilding can provide. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'll just give you a brief background. I was born in Wales, I grew up on a farm, and very early on I understood the logics behind the hard work ethic working on the farm, you know. In my teenage years, I raced motocross at quite a high level, and during that time I went through some injuries. I suffered quite a few accidents. You know, I tore tendons, ligaments, I broke several bones, and I fought asthma as well during my younger and teenage years as well, quite bad. So, you know, I was doing a lot of cardiovascular exercise just so I could stay, you know, on top of my fitness and finish a race. And when I suffered a lot of these injuries, during that time, this, you know, extreme sports led to some extreme people. So, you know, we're rocking it hard on the race circus, and we're rocking it hard on the weekends as well. You know, we were partying hard. And after a while, it took its toll. And, you know, partying just led to a little bit more partying. As I liked the partying a little bit more, it led to a little bit more. And next thing I knew, I pretty much changed my social stance. You know, I was hanging out with different people with a different kind of view on life, and it was really affecting me in a negative way. However, you know, when you're in it, you don't really know it. So, you know, my asthma was getting worse. I wasn't training as much. I was putting on weight, and as a result, I was getting depressed. And the only way I could, you know, get over the depression was by partying more. So it's like a vicious circle. And I had a very bad back as well, the curvature of my spine. You know, it was so bad that I could spend a few weeks, you know, laid up in a sofa, you know. So yeah, I got to a real low point where I understood that I really had to change my social network and hang out with some different people with like-minded goals if I was going to get back on track. Now, I'm an all or nothing kind of person. I don't do things half measured. So I thought, well, what I'm going to do is enter a bodybuilding show then. You know, I didn't really look like I worked out at all, but that was my goal. So I started training, started getting, you know, educating myself, hanging around with positive people. And a year and a half later, I stood on stage in first timers category, and I managed to get second place. And I've been hooked ever since then. Because every time that I've found that I've dieted down, done a transformation, competed, it's changed me as a person. So the very first time that I competed, I worked in a wood furniture warehouse loading trucks with furniture, basically. After that transformation, I decided that I wanted to educate myself in the world of health and fitness. So I went to university for 3 years, studied health, fitness, and sports therapy. And then I did another transformation, got ready for another show, which took me on board. After that, I worked on board cruise liners as a sports therapist and a massage therapist. After that, I did another transformation, found myself in Australia running a fitness center. After that transformation, it took me to the US, where I started writing for various publications like Flex magazine, and from then onwards to bodybuilding.com. Every time that I transformed, I found that it gave me a new sense of discipline, whether that was in regards to my everyday life, my relationship with my wife, or whether it be with financials. It just gave me a different perspective on learning Because when you're disciplined with your nutrition and with your training and how the body works, then you're disciplined in other areas in your life in only a positive way. So there's that many more benefits that a transformation can transpire other than, you know, just the physical attributes. So the secrets of becoming a successful bodybuilder, like I have a lot of people ask me questions in regards of, you know, what's the diet strategy? What's the secret training program? There must be a supplement that's going to help me get from this to that. And, you know, unfortunately, I've heard it a lot over the last couple of days. You know, people are like, how many hours a day do you train? You know, how often do you have to do this? How often do you do that? So, which tells me a lot of people are uneducated. You know, they need to go online, they need to read a little bit so they can help themselves further along a little bit. So hopefully, you know, with an event like this, that we can continue to support that. But the main focus that I'd say that transforms somebody just off the street to a professional athlete is more so the support network that surrounds them and the consistency that they endure day in, day out as a habit. Like the best training program, nutrition program in the world won't do nothing for you unless you are consistent with it day in and day out. That doesn't mean 5 days a week, take weekends off. That consistency means exactly what I said, day in, day out. If I'm coming here to India, I'm going to make sure that I pack 50 meals to come with me, to make sure that I don't steer off my 7 meals. I haven't missed a meal in 10 years because I've learned to control my environment, you know. That's my priority. Everybody else has different priorities, but that's mine. And the other thing that people really do lack on is motivation. Information, such as this book, or any other book you can read, are useless without motivation. Why do you think we have thousands upon thousands of books on the shelves there, but, you know, a lot of people, you know, everybody isn't in shape? Because they're lacking in motivation. So by having a support group behind you and being surrounded by like-minded people that you can interact with will help this cause. So to begin with your health and fitness goals, I always say that you need to start burning and building bridges. So these are 4 pillars of power that I'm going to start touching on now that I touch on in the book. So for a while, you have to separate yourself from the negative people in your life. Maybe that's a loved one. I'm not saying go and divorce that person, but you need to kind of separate yourself to a certain extent. Maybe explain to them the importance of your goals and how it makes you feel if you're not supported in those goals, and build upon those positive people around you. Now, if those aren't within your immediate vicinity, you're going to find them online, whether that's on social network like Facebook or Body Space, which is like your Facebook for fitness enthusiasts. These are the people that you need to start interacting with. No longer do you have to look at a before and after picture or a poster of somebody next to a supplement and go, wow, I want to look like that person. Now you have the opportunity to interact with that person. Or it could be somebody that has a physique that you aspire to and kind of looks like you in the beginning. So now you can learn from them, interact with them, and expand on those positive bridges while you burn the other ones, you know. And then the second pillar of power, I say, is basically being transparent with your goals. Tell as many people as you possibly can, whether that's in your social circle at home, whether it's people at work, whether it's people online.
मैं ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹਰਜਾਪ ਤੇ ਹਰੇਕ ਮੰਡੇ 7 ਵਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ NRIਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ ਦੇ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਹੈਗੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਫੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ So let's talk with Harjap.